Hello everyone, welcome to Unacademy. So before starting today's session, I would like to have the input as well as the concurrence regarding the quality of video as well as audio. I think the things have been very perfect. Anyways, let me focus over the agenda behind today's video. From today onwards, we have been starting the another part of calculus, and that is been the integral calculus. We will take around 15 to 16 well-crafted question which had been already been experienced in previous years gate examination, either it's been computer science, electrical, electronics or mechanical. Virtually speaking, you will have a fair idea that which kind of the questions have been repeatedly asked and which kind of integration has been very important, at least in terms of upcoming gate examination. So in the same sequence, the first question which I am going to take in today's class that had already been asked in gate electronics year of 2006. Let me take this problem towards working board and we will try to smash the problem there only. And as the methodology which I had been following so far, whenever the one question appears in your screen, approximately 3 minutes would be given, and within that 3 minutes span of time you had to conquer the problem and you had to give it the best most answer over the live chat. So for this given question, your timer starts now. Read the problem carefully and tell me what could have been the best most answer for this given question. Read it carefully. What the problem states: the following plot shows a function y which varies linearly with x. The value of the integral capital I is equals to integration from 1 to 2 of y of dx. 1 to 2 of y of dx. Read it carefully and tell me what could have been the best most answer. Read it carefully and tell me what could have been the best most answer. So I would be waiting for your response. Tell me what would be the best most answer. What would be the best most answer? Tell me what would be the best most answer for this given question. So this question should not take more than 2 or maximum to maximum 2.5 minutes. Within this span of time, you must be able to conquer this kind of question. But anyways, fundamental meaning of integration must be known to me. Then only I would be able to conclude this problem out. Tell me what would be the best most answer for this given question. Tell me what would be the answer for this given question. I want the input from each one of you. Read it carefully and tell me what could have been the best most answer for this given question. I want the input from each one of you. Tell me. The student who had not subscribed our channel yet, they should subscribe. Then only they would be able to put their comments. Within 20 minutes of your subscription span or life, definitely you will be able to respond or answer as well. So I would request to each one of you, the student who had been following me since very beginning, they should follow this process so that at least I'll feel connecting. See, sometime what happens, I feel like I had been keep teaching, but no reply had been coming to me. So that has not been the correct way to have a two-way communication, and that is why the timer is also been started. What I'm saying, that is why the timer is also been placed in such that you'll have a feel like you had been appearing with this given question in gate examination itself. Tell me what would have been the best most answer for this given question. The time is in. See, as far as this problem is being concerned, we had to perform the integration of y with its lower limit and upper limit. There could have been the two different techniques to solve this problem out. The first method is going to be a pure mathematical method, where By watching this curve, I must be able to get the y as a function of x. Obviously, being a straight line, it is going to follow y is equals to mx plus c. So I need to find the value of m as well as c. And then I will take its integration, and definitely it is going to be a definite and proper integral. Obviously, we could have done the problem in this way. So y is equals to mx plus c. This has been the equation of a straight line. Y is equals to mx plus c. Mx plus c. See what had been happening. The intersection of this y-axis or this straight line at y-axis has been 1. My dear friend, at y-axis the value of x used to be 0. And when we will feed the value of x is equals to 0, we will be getting the value of y is equals to 1, and that is basically the value of c only. What I would be doing, I would be feeding the value of c as 1 over here. So here it becomes mx plus of 1. And now we will do the another calculation at x-axis. At x-axis the value of y is supposed to be 0. And at x-axis the value of y is supposed to be 0. The value of x is been minus of 1. So virtually it's been minus of m plus of 1. So I get the value of m as well. So m had become plus of 1. So as far as the integration is being concerned, where the integration is being made for y, which is been a x plus of 1, the value of m has been 1, the value of c has been 1, and then here comes d of x, here comes d of x. We will take its integration. The integration of x would lead x square, and the integration of 1 would lead x. Virtually speaking, this has been x square plus of x, and it had been going all the way from 1 to 2, 1 to 2. So 2 to the power of 2, that has been 4, 4 plus 1. So here the result which we are expecting, 2 to the power of 2, that has been 4, 4 plus 2, that has been 6, minus of 2, and the result which we are expecting, it is been 4 now. So the 4 is been the best most answer. 4 is been the best most answer. I could have taken another technique as well. My dear friend, the integration has to be made from 1 to 2. 1 to 2. So obviously you must have calculated the area under this curve. Area under this curve. Yes, this curve. Or I can say the area under x is equals to 1, x is equals to 2, the function itself and the x-axis. And this is going to be a kind of trapezium. This is going to be a kind of trapezium. I think you must be able to agree at this point. And as we know, the function which has been satisfying this straight line has been x plus 1. So even you can find its coordinate as well. So may I know what would be the abscissa over here? The x has been already 1. And when it is been placed at x plus 1, the worth of ordinate is been 1, 2. And same goes over here as well. And here it becomes 2, 3. May I know what used to be the area of trapezium? The area of trapezium is been the average of parallel sides into its altitude. So average of its parallel side, this has been parallel side, the worth is been 2, and here the worth is been 3, or I should say height is been 2 and 3. I will take its average. So here it becomes 2 plus 3 divided by of 2, and then their altitude. What has been the altitude over here? So 1 to 2, 1 to 2. You will be getting the answer here as well. You will be getting the here as well. Anyways, 1 to 2 only it had been taken now. Let me check it out. So the height is been x plus 1. That is been 2, that is for sure, and at 2 it is been 3, that is also okay, and then becomes 2 plus 3 divided by of 2, or otherwise to do one thing, you bifurcate into the two different part. Anyways, I will see where the mistake has been made. See, so here what happens, you could have calculated the structure of this rectangle, the height is been 2 and the width has been 1, so 2 into 1 stands for 2 only. 2 only. And now if we'll be focusing over this concept, so here it is become half times of base has been 1, and here it becomes from 2 to 3 it has been 1 only. So virtually speaking, it has been 2 plus half, and that has been 2.5. Yes, that is what has been happening. Even from trapezium also, the 2.5 was the correct answer. So definitely I had made a mistake over here. Let me see how the mistake had been made. Yes, this is going to be x square divided by 2, and once you'll solve this problem out, here also the answer is expected to be 2.5. So what I'm saying, even from the trapezium also I must have got the same answer, and that has been the average of the parallel side, and that has been 2 plus 3 divided by of 2, and their altitude, and that has been 1, and here also I have been getting the value as 2.5. Agreed? So probably you must have solved this problem through the 3 different techniques. The first technique is the pure mathematical technique. Nowhere the graph analysis has been made, just the y has been converted in a form of a function of x, and from there also I got the answer as 2.5. The second technique must have been the area under the trapezium or area under the given structure which has been considered in a form of rectangle as well as triangle. So probably this part must have been clear to all of us. This part must be clear to all of us. In the same sequence, I think is in the right time, I should also be taking the next question as well. So here goes the next question. And this kind of questions are utterly important question. This kind of the questions are being utterly important question. Anyways, I would not be in position to bring all of the options which are being written in a form of A, B, C, D. So what I would do, I would show only and only the part of problem, and you have to draw the part of its answer. So this has been the question over here. Read the problem carefully and tell me which kind of outcome it is going to lead once the given f of x is being integrated. My dear friend, just try to understand this way. Consider the plot of f of x versus x is being shown. Then I need to find capital F of small x where the integration is being made of f of y dy. Which one of the following is a graph of capital F of x? See what had been happening. So you once you'll have a little bit idea, the function remained same. The variable had been changed from x to y. So I can say this has been a problem of what? Change in variable. And as the change in variable takes place, but the function had not changed its worth, virtually speaking, the area under the curve is going to be very same. Area under the curve is going to be very same. My dear friend, just try to understand how it had been meant for. So integration has to start from what? X is equals to minus 5. And it has to go till the point the study is being made. Just try to understand in this way. If you want to know the capital F of x at that moment of time, that moment of point, you had to concede all of the previous areas. So what I would do, I would copy this down into the next page and we will try to smash this problem there only. So this has been the problem. Let me crop this down. And here comes the problem. This has been the problem actually. This has been the problem actually. And this has been a small f of x. Mistakenly, it is written as a capital F of x. And here the capital F of x is being a function of x, where the integration is being taken from minus 5 to x over the given function fy over dy. Again, I have taken a vertical axis over here. Yes, kind of this. Let me take a vertical axis, and here goes the horizontal axis. My dear friend, the integration had started from minus 5 onwards. So what happens? From here onwards, the area would start getting segregated. And as the capital F of x is being the worth of area, which had started conceding from minus 5 onwards. Like, I'll give an example. If you want to know the worth of capital F of x at this moment of point, you had to concede all of the areas which had been taken place from minus 5 till x is equal to 0. Same goes till x is equal to 5, so on and so forth. That's been the first thing. The second important thing, as the integration has been made, the area is going to be a signed area. If the area has been made towards downside, it would be counted as negative, and if it is been made towards upside, it would be counted as a positive. That has also been an area of concern. The next thing which you could have done, see, this has been a straight line with the negative slope. You could have taken this as a minus of mx plus c, and once you'll integrate it, it would become x square divided by f2 or something. But important thing, now this straight line is going to be a parabola. This straight line is going to be parabola, but this minus sign indicates it's going to be a lower facing parabola. So what I'm saying, this has been a straight line and the slope has been negative, so its integration is going to be lower facing parabola. But lower facing parabola could have been made in two different ways. How? Just try to understand in this way. This could have been like this. Just a minute. This could have been like this, or this could have been like this. Both are in the part of lower facing parabola. Which one you are going to take? So for that, what I have been doing over here, let me drop a vertical line over here. Yes, so I had to drop the vertical lines over here. Let me copy this down. Like this has been, like this has been, and here comes over here. Yeah, this is the situation now. Now, what had been happening, my dear friend? The integration had started doing its place from -5 onwards, and yes, area had started accumulating. But as the area has been made towards a lower region of x-axis, definitely they would be accounted negative. So if we'll talk about the integration of this straight line with the negative sign, definitely it is going to make a lower facing parabola, and its area would be keep increasing. Let me do one thing for the better understanding. What I did, I could have taken -5, -5, -5. This must have been minus of 4. Then comes minus of 2. Kind of this I had taken. And same goes with here as well. This has been 2, and then straight away it has been 4, and then goes to 5. Deliberately I had taken this problem such that even I would be playing with the numeric values as well. You can see very well. This has been a straight line with the negative slope. Straight line with negative slope. Negative slope. Negative slope. So the structure is going to be kind of this. Structure is going to be kind of this. Just try to understand in this way, this way, this way. May I know what is going to be the worth of it? Obviously at x is equals to minus of 4, the area which had been considered from -5 to -4. And you can see very well the area under the curve is simply going to be the width. You had traveled from -5 to -4, the width has been 1, the height has been 2, and now the area is simply going to be half times of width, that has been 1, and similarly height, that has been 2. So virtually speaking, it has been 1 only. So the magnitude which we have been getting over here, it has been 1 now. Yes, it has been 1 now. Agreed? Towards the negative side. Towards the negative side. Now, as you guys have been keep knowing, as it's been a constant, if we'll take an integration of a constant, obviously it is going to be a straight line. As the worth of the constant is been negative in nature, even the straight line would have a negative slope. So what had been happening, if you'll go towards right hand side, even the negative areas are even been getting accumulated. So obviously you can see very well the structure is going to be something like this. Agreed? Agreed, no? Yes. Now this is again been a straight line. My dear friend, I know many of the students would say, sir, now this negative area would get added with the positive area. My dear friend, still this area has been considered towards the lower side of x-axis, that would be treated as negative. And the next important thing, as it has been a positively sloped straight line, once you'll take its integration, it is going to be a upper facing parabola. And although it has been taking upper facing parabola, but still its magnitude would be keep decreasing, because the negative and more negative areas are being keep considered. So yes, I would take this as well, and here becomes like this. This has been lower facing parabola, this has been a straight line, and this has been upper facing parabola. Did you really understood what exactly I wanted to communicate? If you want, I can take an example as well as, sorry, the magnitude as well as. So what I would do, I would take a straight line over here just for the better of understanding. So let me do so. So here I have taken a straight line, here I have taken a straight line, kind of this. May I know what would be the magnitude over here? So till this point, all of the component of the magnitude is to be added off. Anyways, this magnitude till this -4 is already been minus of 1, and the area -2 to -4, that is having the width is equals to 2, and 2 into 2, that has been 4. So virtually speaking, the area has been 4 and the area has been 1. 4 and 1, that is going to be minus of 5 over here. So yes, the result is simply going to be minus of 5 over here. And what happens from here onwards, now the negative area is going to get added with the positive area. And as it has been a straight line, again it is going to be upper facing parabola, but now the negative area would be keep swept up. And as it has been keep swept up, you yourself would be able to understand at this point, here it becomes somewhere here. It reaches to this point. If you don't understand, just take one thing. The area which had been considered over here, it has just been destroyed by this area, and that is why whatever the magnitude of the function which we had at x is equals to -2, we are going to have at x is equals to +2 as well. And now the same thing has been happening here as well. The slope is been positive now because the constant is been positive. So obviously I would take this straight line. I would take this straight line. This straight line. Again the magnitude has been -1, and now here the slope has been negative. It is going to be a lower facing parabola. What I am saying, it is going to be a lower facing parabola. Yes, but the magnitude would be keep increasing. Why? Because the area has been made towards upside. So obviously I can say the area would be keep increasing. and end of the day you reaches to this point. End of the day you reaches to this point. Here it had been 0 and here it had been 0. Why it had been 0? If you'll go towards right hand side, still you have to start the area under the curve from -5 onwards. All of the areas are been dismissed, and from here onwards the magnitude has been 0. Such a beautiful curve it had been. Such a beautiful curve it had been. And that is why I am saying one of the most crafted question ever we had experienced in mathematics. Yes, this kind of question. This kind of question you can expect in mathematics now. Tell me what would be the magnitude over here. See what had been happened. Till this point, -5 has already been taken. Yes. And again, this area would be added, and that has been minus of 1. So here you can say this has been minus of 6. Minus of 6. I would like to know from each one of you till this point each and everything has been clear or not. Till this point each and everything has been clear or not. I would like to know from each one of you. So from here easily you will be able to get its answer as well. So I would be waiting for your comments. So tell me what would have been the best most answer. Yes. Okay, dear. So I think it's been the right time. I should also be taking the next question as well. So here comes the next question. Again, my questions would be in near to the problems related to the definite integration. Definite integration. So here comes the next question. This one. And this kind of the questions are being repeatedly asked in different branch, including mechanical, civil, electrical, electronics. So I can say the properties of the definite integration which had been used in this question and had been used in many of the questions are been utterly important in terms of gate. In terms of gate, read it carefully and tell me what could have been the best most answer. What would be the best most answer actually? Tell me what would have been the best most answer for this given question. Read it carefully. So for that again, the timer has been started. Read the problem carefully and tell me what would have been the best most answer. So timer had started. Timer had started. Timer had started. Read it carefully and tell me what must have been the best most answer. One of the important properties of the definite integral which I had used over here, it's been if a definite proper integration of f of x is being taken from a to b, that is also been equals to the integration from a to b of f of a plus b minus of x dx. You can see very well the a is been 0 over here and the b is been pi by 2. Now many of the students may also ask, sir, why we had gone through this property? How did I know that this property is going to be a useful property? My dear friend, if you'll try to get its answer using the manual method, the things are been quite tricky. But what happens? At least sine, cosine terms are been there now. Once you'll take pi by 2 minus of x shifting. So the sine becomes cos and cos becomes sine. So virtually speaking, if the shifting of a plus b minus of x is being taken place, where a plus b at least in this problem is been pi by 2, probably this problem may go into the right direction where I would be able to smash this problem out. I may be able to smash this problem out. Read it carefully and tell me what could have been the best most answer for this given question. I would like to have the input from each one of you. So in this given question, the value of a is been 0 at least. That is been known to us. The value of a is been 0. The value of b is pi by 2. It is been 0 and here it is been pi by 2. So let me feed the data over here. So virtually speaking, sine of x becomes cos of x becomes sine of x, and inside this nothing is going to change. Everything remains same. Everything remains same. So if I take the value of this integration is been referred as a I, and that is been 0 to pi by 2 sine of x minus of cos of x And here comes log sin of x minus of cos of x with log of sin of x plus of cos of x. So the same thing has been happened. What I would do, I would just shift cos with sin and sin with cos. So the result which we have been expecting here has been, anyways, the limits are not supposed to change. Cos would become sin, sin would become cos, and the remaining component inside this log remains same. So here it becomes cos of x instead the sin of x, and here it becomes sin of x instead the cos of x, and here it goes log of sin of x plus of cos of x. And here goes dx. What I would do, I would just add them together. Why the addition has been taken place? You yourself would be able to judge why this process I had been following, my dear friend. As you can see very well, once you'll add them together, at this left hand side has been 2 times of I. The left hand side has been 2 times of I, but the right side has been quite different. Once you'll add them together, you'll find this factor has been common. You can bring it out, and once you'll add them together, the result has been 0. Virtually speaking, the integrand worth has been simply 0. Integrand worth has been simply 0. Is been simply 0. So this has been the worth for this given question. In the same sequence, I think has been the right time. I should also be taking few more number of questions based on the definite integral. Definite integral. The last question which we have already taken, no, the curve which had been given, no, that is not been appropriately correct. See, A, B, C, and here comes D. Here comes D. This one. So once you'll go into the actual curve, no, you yourself will be able to understand the curve has been bit different. It's been bit different. You yourself here it was curvy, lower facing, straight line, upper facing, and this has not been visible actually in this problem. That is what I'm saying. No, if you do any kind of analysis, you must do it thoroughly. You must do it thoroughly. So this concept is clearly known to all of us. So I think it's been the right time. I should also be following the next question as well. So here comes the next question. Yes, here comes the next question. I need to perform the definite integral of a absolute function of x. Read it carefully and tell me what could have been the bestmost answer for this given question. The value of the integral, which starts from minus a, goes till plus a, mod of x dx is equals to. The 4 different options are being attached along with this problem. So let me do one thing. Let me start the timer now. The timer starts now. The timer starts now. Read it carefully and tell me what would have been the bestmost answer for this given question. What must have been the bestmost answer for this given question? Tell me what must have been the bestmost answer for this given question. Yes. Read it carefully and tell me what would have been the bestmost answer for this given question. I need the input from each one of you. It's been a problem of a definite integral which starts from minus a goes till plus a, and the what integration is to be performed for an absolute value of x. So this problem could have been solved using the integration by parts. Mathematically, if you perform the magnitude of x, that would be splitted into 2 parts, that has been minus of x for a negative value of x, and that would be a plus of x for a positive value of x. Tell me what would have been the bestmost answer for this given question. Tell me what would have been the bestmost answer. Read it carefully and tell me what would have been the best most answer for this given question. I would like to have the input from each one of you. Each one of you. Anyways, as you guys have been keep knowing, the magnitude of x must have been divided in a form of a proper function, and that would be defined as a minus of x when the value of x has been negative. And similarly, it would be defined as a plus of x where the value of x has been positive. And at x is equals to 0, the mod of x has been a continuous function. So obviously, I could have taken this as a equals as well at towards the left hand side and towards the right hand side. Quite okay. What does that actually mean of it? That means the magnitude of x is not been a continuous function from minus a to a. It had changed its nature at x is equals to 0. So obviously the integration has to be done in a parts. So this has been a core problem of a integration in parts. What I would do over here, I would take the same methodology which we have done it earlier. We will break this integration into the two parts, as you can see very well, from minus a to a. From minus a to a, I can't go straight away. So I would go from minus a to a, doing integration of minus of x over dx, and then I would switch it over from 0 to a by taking the integration of x over dx. So this is why the integration in parts is being used, because in ones through you can't assume the function as minus x or plus x. The worth has been changed. So what had been happening? Minus has been taken out. It's been x square divided by 2. Minus of 1 by 2 has been taken out, and this has been x square actually. And the limit has been minus a to 0, and here comes half times of x square from 0 to a, from 0 to a, 0 to a, and easily you will be able to conquer this problem as well. Tell me what would be the best most answer over here. So even if you want, half must have been taken out. Anyways, let me feed the data, then only the things would be known to all of us. And here becomes minus of half. My dear friend, 0 has been raised to the power of 2, which has been upper limit, that's been set for 0, and then goes minus of, I repeat, minus of a square, and that is just been minus of a square, minus of a square. Yes, no? Minus of a square. And then comes here, half of a square, and once you add them together, you get the result is being a square. You get the result is being a square. Graphically, you must have smashed this problem out. For that, let me take xy plane. Here comes x-axis, here goes y-axis, and this is going to be a kind of v-shaped curve. Yes, and the slope is going to be a +1 and -1. Anyways, as far as this structure is being concerned, we need to find the area, signed area under the curve, which has been bounded by x is equals to -a, which is going to be a vertical line at x is equals to -a, x is equals to +a over here, then magnitude of x, which has been a function itself, and then here comes x-axis. Yes, so whenever we have been doing the integration calculation, basically the 4 different contours of 4 different paths are being bounded the given structure. First is been x is equals to lower limit, upper limit, the function itself, and the x-axis. So I should say this has been the structure over here. X is equals to -a over here, x is equals to +a over here, x-axis itself, and then comes f of x. So virtually speaking, you had been looking for this structure. You had been looking for this structure. I can only say one thing. You had been looking for this structure, this one, this structure, and this structure. And as you can see, both of these structures have been symmetrical in nature. So whatever the area which have been framed over here, the same area is going to get framed over here as well. So rather calculating the area for the both of the zonar, I should be calculating the area in either of the zonar. I would just be doing double of it. This has been x is equals to -a. So virtually speaking, you can easily say, sir, this has been x is equals to a. X is equals to a, and here this has been a structure of x is equals to minus of a, and at x is equals to minus of a, the value of a would become a. So virtually speaking, the coordinate value with its abscissa as -a and ordinate as +a, and being a right angle triangle, its area is simply going to be half times of its base, that is been a, and its height, and virtually speaking, the result which we have been expecting is been a square divided by 2. A square divided by 2. And the same area we are going to concede over here as well. And that is also a square divided by 2. A square divided by 2. Agreed, no? That is also equals to of A square divided by 2. And virtually speaking, end of the day, the result which we have been expecting over here has been same. Agreed, no? Yes. Yes. Okay. So the same thing has been come over here. I would request to all of the students who had not been onboarded with this such a best and such an affordable opportunity you guys have been having. And you can see very well the such a huge performance are being made by our students in engineering services examination. You yourself would be able to understand. We had been a tremendous result in ESC 2022. AIR 7, 10, 11, 13, 21. I had taken just been the reference of electrical and electronics student. Then goes the Pratigya batch. The Pratigya batch has already been started from 15th of December onwards. It's already been started from 15th of December onwards. It's already been started. Yes, 15th of Shitambur. And the subject which had started, it's been signal system by Sujasar, and that has been precisely at 7 p.m. That has been precisely at 7 p.m. The code which you guys have been using or you guys had to use, and that has been GA1111 during any kind of purchase or any kind of transaction. Agreed? Few more important point which I would like to raise to you guys. The amount of money which you guys have been paying, such a least amount you have been paying. Just see, 4,705 rupees, 6,416 rupees you have been paying for the tenure of 15 month and 13th month. Probably if you have been preparing for GATE 2024, you should go ahead with that. And if you have been preparing for GATE 2025, you must go ahead with this. But I would request to each one of you, rather going or rather purchasing this product, you must have been purchased this product as well. Because in future, if you are not been scored very well in GATE examination, it's still the validity which you have been offered is been what 30 months, 30 months. And again, it had been clearly told earlier, whatever the product you have been purchasing, the code which you guys have been using is being GA1111. For any kind of query, you can make a call on this number. You can make a call on this number. And this has been the course, the recorded course. The GATE Academy had been famous for this course, the recorded course, where the things are being communicated in English. What does it actually mean of English? The technical terminologies are being communicated in English, whereas the communication part, teaching part, doubt clearing part is being used in Hindi. So that is why the amalgamation of English and Hindi together, it's been English. It's been English actually. The amount of hour which you have been spending together, it's been more than 1300, more than 1300, more than 1500, more than 1400, more than 1100, more than 1100. All of the top educators would be teaching you guys. And the amount of money which you have been paying now, I would say the least most amount you have been paying. This much amount usually are being paid off for the single subject, whereas in this amount you have been getting the combination of or the combo of all of the subjects exclusively with our mentorship. Yes. Same goes with the English course as well. Here, our mode of communication is going to be English entirely. Even either it's been the doubt clearing, one-to-one communication, either it's been the mode of teaching, each and everything is going to be taught in English only. The amount of content which you have been getting, 777, 938, more than 1000, more than 900, more than 900 for mechanical, civil, electrical, EC and CS and IT respectively. The amount of money which you have been paying is been just least. And again, I am saying the use this code. Use this code. Virtually speaking, this table has been quite handy so that you will have a little bit idea. The price drop, what you save, you can see the 23% of all Unacademy GATE recorded gold subscription has been reduced, are being reduced. So here what had been happened, You yourself would be able to understand. Earlier it was 4432. It has been reduced by this amount, and the result has been this. 23 huge reduction is already placed. I should say it has already been affordable most product, but now it has been even more affordable. Even it has been more affordable. Yes, you can have a look of it. You can have a look of it. And same goes with our GD as well as pen drive product as well. For the GD, you're just going to pay approximately 3000, and for pen drive approximately you have been paying 9000, and along with the pen drive you are going to get an exclusive device as well. That is why the pricing has been bit raised, but it solely depends which product you have been suited for. If you have been from the part of the country where the internet problem has been quite larger, you don't have a proper internet connectivity, so better to have the pen drive. Once you purchase the pen drive, and then after, till its validity, happily without any internet connectivity, you can enjoy our course, you can build up your concept, and end of the day you can become a good engineer, you can get good marks in gate, EAC and PSUs. And if you have been having a good amount of connectivity of the internet, you can save this much of amount. Otherwise, there would not be any difference as such between the G drive and pen drive. The content wise, there had not been any difference at all. There had not been any difference at all. Agreed? So all India mock test, I would request to each one of you. This has been a complete free mock test which had been provided by the Unacademy team. Already 4/18th has been paused down. So only the 4 number of tests are still been left out. So I would request to each one of you, just search AIMT and get the maximum benefit of this mock test, which have been prepared exclusively for you guys. Prepared exclusively for you guys. Rank 1 to 10, 100% scholarship would be opted. And similarly, from 11 to 16, the 75% scholarship would be provided. And same goes with the 61 to 200 and 201 and 50, But keep in mind, the code which you guys have been using during any kind of transaction, any kind of maybe registration, I can say the registration would be a better word, because here nothing you have been paying. The code which you have been used has to be GA1111. GA1111 is to be used. GA1111 is to be used. Let me come back. Let me take few number of questions once again. Almost same kind of question. The integration is to be made of log of 10x of dx. Tell me what could have been the answer. I feel many of the students may have a little bit problem with this kind of stature, but still you have to get its answer as well. Tell me what would have been the best most answer. Or otherwise do one thing. Better to take this question. What I'm saying, better to take this question. Definitely this will give you a little bit insight of a good variety of question. This problem is being raised in GATE year of 2020 in computer science. The problem was crafted by IIT Delhi. Read it carefully and tell me what could have been the best most answer for this given question, and your time starts now. Read it carefully and tell me what could have been the best most answer. What could have been the best most answer? Tell me what could have been the best most answer. What could have been the best most answer? I need the input from each one of you. The 3 minutes is already been allocated to you guys. Tell me what would have been the best most answer. I would like to have the input from each one of you. What would be the best most answer? Tell me what would be the best most answer for this given question. My dear friend, anyways, let me check it out. Which kind of structure of magnitude of x sine x is being within a range of 0 to 2 pi? See, outside the 2 pi or before the 2 0, I need not to worry much because the area is to be considered between this region only. My dear friend, the sign of x is being a keep oscillating signal, whereas the x is being a straight line crossing through the origin, and towards the negative value of x, it is going to be negative, and towards the positive value of x, it is going to positive. Virtually speaking, the x is going to become a lobe for sign of x. Negative lobe towards the left hand side and the positive lobe towards the right hand side. So virtually speaking, this has been the structure over here. And I know many of the students would make a major mistake over this point. So what I have done, I have taken xy plane. Here comes the x-axis and here goes the y-axis. It's been a kind of this. It's been a kind of this. So at the very beginning, I would draw the x-axis. See, I would draw the x-axis. Yes. And as it has been multiplying with the sign of x, it would oscillate. So virtually speaking, it would become an envelope towards the upside as well as downside as well. My dear friend, what had been happening? Just try to understand in this way. At x is equals to 0, both become 0. It has to be 0 only. And towards the right hand side, as such, polarity wise, the x is not making any sense. And that's been different story together, that as the value of x would be increasing, the magnitude of sign of x is been keep increasing. So virtually speaking, this has been a pattern of output which we expect over here. See, this has been a pattern of output which we expect over here. It's been a kind of this. Agreed? And towards left hand side, what happens? My dear friend, this must have gone to this. No, this must have been gone to this, but this has not been the case now. Why this has not been the case now? Because the negative gets multiplied with the negative, and the result is being a kind of this. If you don't understand why this has been the outcome, you yourself will be able to understand once you will feed x with negative sign. Sign of minus x is also been minus of sin x, and minus of x both gets multiplied, and that becomes plus only. It is going to be an even function. It is going to be an even function. So probably nobody should have any kind of doubt now. But this is being what I'm saying, this is being a x sine x. But if I take its determinant, the value can't be negative. So all of these swings which have been made towards the lower side, or where the worth of y has been negative, they would be flipped up. They would be flipped up. So virtually speaking, if you want, I will be making another curve over here. This would remain as it is, but this would be flipped up. This would remain as it is, and this would be flipped up, so on and so forth. And same goes with this as well. Same goes with this as well. Agreed, no? So as far as the integration has been made, my dear friend, from 0 to 2 pi, whether the function has been continuous? No. No, function has not been continuous. The function has not been continuous. Did you understand what I am saying? The function is not been continuous. Agreed, no? And as the function is not been continuous, you had to integrate in a part. From here to here, you had to take x times of sin x, because it has just been overlapped with the x sin x. But here you had to just take its invert. So virtually speaking, you had to take an integration from 0 to pi of x of sin x dx, and then you had to take pi to 2 pi with a negative sign, and then comes x of sin x dx, and you will be getting the result as well. Agreed? So I feel this has been a well crafted question. So we'll meet tomorrow with the same agenda. Till then, bye bye. Take care.